guys, okay, yeah, another double header. I keep telling myself do one video a day, and I end up like doing two. Let me grab him here. I had him on the, oop, I had him on the other channel, just bang Thor in the head. This is actually off his altar now, because Thor absolutely adored it. He has a sense of humor. This is the scariest action figure slash doll slash whatever you want to call him I've ever seen. This is Avengers Thor, so he looks like Chris. And he has very little articulation, but he can be articulate. Did you hear that? And then if you give him a couple more seconds, and I don't know if he should do this. Anytime now, Thor. No, he won't do it. Oh, God, now he's not doing it. He usually speaks twice every time you hit the button. There you go. Thank you. A little off on his timing there, but there he goes. I really like him because, well, he looks like Thor. He looks like a very cranky, we got Chris up at 2 in the morning and made him suit up Thor. But he looks like Thor. Let's see if I can bring him closer. Yeah, there you go. He kind of looks really cranky, though. But I like him. It's a discontinued doll that I got on Amazon because the reason I got these, I got the Loki one you saw, and I got this Thor one, is because Thor actually was the one that reached out to my family first. See how I can get this story right. Because my brother used to read the Mighty Thor comics. It was either Mighty Thor or Mighty Avengers. I'm pretty sure it was a Mighty Thor comics. And Thor reached out to him. Thor started appearing in his dreams and everything. And my brother's 11 years older, so he had some time on me. And before my father kicked him out, my father was not a nice man, you guys know that. He was trying to tell me something, and he was really confused because remember, we were raised Roman Catholic. That these gods were real gods was news to him. He was trying to tell me something about Thor being his god and Loki being mine, and he was like very emphatic about that. Or maybe he had them, I'm having them backwards in my mind now, and I belong to Thor and he belonged to Loki. But he knew those two had picked us out, and he said that they were here to protect us and save us. And he was kind of planning on leaving anyways. So my brother more or less had to leave to save himself. But, you know, and I'm not mad at him for that either. So if he ever sees this, I'm cool with it, bro. But yeah, Thor reached out through the comic books, which is why I have a fondness for Marvel, because you know, whatever you think of the comic books, good or bad, that's how Thor actually reached out to our family, and that's how Loki reached out, because apparently, and I wish I could see, well, my brother's like major crazy Christian now, but I wish I could go back in time and talk to my brother more about it, because he was so frightened and confused by the experience. But here you had Thor reaching out to our family, and Loki's, well, my brother was having these spiritual experiences, and I think somehow, yeah, I know somehow my father found out, and he was like, you're into devil worship, because that's how Catholics are taught. Every other god's the devil. And, you know, I wish we had had a more tolerant family. And I tended the same way. So they had two pagans. They just drove the one insane, and he's now like some kind of born-again, crazy, really strict Christian. And I'm the one that the paganism stuck. And I can't tell you why that happened. I guess maybe the age difference, maybe just I'm bullheaded. If you tell me I can't do something in general, I'm going to go do it. But that's why I have a lot of the Marvel stuff. I have like the statue for Thor, and I have the one for Loki. Loki has his 12-inch now on his part of the altar. And I was looking around for a nice Odin one, and I couldn't really see anything I liked of the All-Father, because they all kind of look like, I don't know, nothing I've ever seen Odin look like. And I came across this one that looked like Odin. It kind of like a younger version of Odin, I guess you would say. But it had the gray hair, and it had the eye patch, and it like was really stylized Japanese manga thing. And it's actually still being processed to ship. I don't know if they're ever going to ship it to me. And it's obviously like more like an anime fantasy style character, and he was like, "Oh, I want that." And I'm like, "No." But yeah, that's actually why I use a lot of the Marvel stuff in the for Thor and Loki, because that was how they actually reached out to my family. That was the only way in a very Christian, very Catholic, very conservative, tightly bound society, they had to reach out, and then they started appearing in dreams and whatever else to my brother. I mean, he never fully went into it, but I've been trying to put the pieces together over the years. And if I asked him now, he would like probably not even remember or pretend he didn't remember. But yeah, I just figured I would share the doll with you and share that, and so that's why I firmly believe they'll reach out any way they can, because not everybody has a luxury of being born heathen or being raised with the stories or whatever. There isn't just one way to come to them. It's not like Christianity. There's not like just one set way of doing things. The gods have, they'll take whatever avenue they can get. So I figured I would share that with you. And I don't have much on the channel about Thor, but he's a total sweetheart. I like having him around. I have his hammer and a couple gifts near the front door because I'm like, well, they can meet Thor if they want to try to come into this house. I have the altar here, and I have, what do I have up in the bedroom for him? There's a goat up in the bedroom. Yeah, and I don't think you guys saw that because it was like down on the floor, kind of, because it's a big enough bedroom, but when you're starting to put everything for every deity, and it's kind of crowded. And it's really nice working with him because he's like the level-headed one. If Loki's being too much, Thor will come in and like not so much rescue me, but be like, "You have to calm down." It's funny when Thor's supposed to have his legendary temper, but he's a real sweetheart, and he's usually the one telling me, "Why are you so angry?" And I'm like, "Rah!" And he's like, "Calm down." So yeah, I enjoy having him here, and of course that's why I love thunderstorms. Though I associate thunderstorms with both Thor and Odin for whatever reason. I guess because of the wind, I've always associated Odin with like windstorms and such. And it's good having him around. And I don't ever talk about him on the channel because like early days I was doing stuff. And like people were less than enthusiastic, I think, when I mentioned like Thor or Odin or anyone. But I'm like, hey, well, it's my channel. And I just had someone bring up, well, you could do pagan things that aren't related to Loki. And I'm like, well, I should do something. And I was thinking about this doll, and I was thinking of telling you the story about Thor. And it was just, that's why I've always liked Thor so much, because when I realized my brother wasn't crazy, because when you're a child and all this abuse is going on, you don't know what's happening, what's real or what's not. And I realized that Thor had really come to my brother, and Loki had apparently come as well. And I do believe they look like they did in the comic books, because he didn't have any other context. Though he did start to do research on their stories. He used to go into Pittsburgh and like look in the libraries, where he hoped my father won't find out. But yeah, to have him there with my family for that long, and to know he's like still watching over my brother wherever my brother is now. I've lost contact with him, and it's good to have him around and know that he's protected the family for that long. And he's not a god that like demands a lot. He's never really said, "Oh, I need this formal day, and I need this, and I need everything else." But it is Thor's Day. I like kind of vape out. I have problems remembering what day of the week it is and like whose day it is and that, but it is Thor's Day. Although we're not having thunderstorms, it does look a little stormy outside. And so I thought I'd make him something, because anything you do for the gods or about the gods can be an offering. Like I have the Pinterest board, and they both like get a kick out of it, because I put Thorky up on there, and they actually find it hysterical. They think it's awesome. They just laugh so hard. And Thor's not the kind of god, at least in my experience, it's like, you have to do this for me, or you have to like give me glory, or you have to set this up for me. He's just big and strong and laid back, and he's a big softie, and he doesn't care if, not that he doesn't care at all. I mean, he'll appreciate the gesture if you do something for him, but he's not real demanding. And as they say, anyhow, I belong to Loki. It's not like if you belong to a god, then your demands are a little different. Like I belong to Loki. I might love Odin, Thor, and most of the pantheon, but I don't belong to them in the sense I belong to Loki. So like it limits what the others can say or ask or demand. But still, he is, in my experience, this like big softy, and he doesn't ask for a lot, and he's happy with whatever you give him. Most he asks for is like, I make this mead tea. I had it up on Facebook, and he really likes that. He's really into that. That he likes that. If I'm like going to make some, he'll be like, yeah, he'll have some too. But other than that, I mean, I offer them all. They all know, like, every meal they can, like, feast with me and such, and things like that. So, I've never really had him ask for too much outside of that. Okay, so, yeah, there you go. I hope that made some sense. I'm not used to talking to the others yet. Yeah, talking to the others yet. Talking about the others yet, but I should be. So I hope you like that, and, he's a really great god to work with. I don't even think you need to start off with an altar or anything. I usually don't recommend that to anyone, whoever they're working with. I would just start off with, doing what feels right to you. You may never come to an altar, and you may never come to that kind of relationship, but coffee sip before I choke to death in front of you. But, he's a really good, sweet god to work with. He is a big sweetheart. So many people are afraid of him, and I'm like, why? He's nothing like the stories, and I read all the same stories you guys did. We were raised in classical education. We had to read the big stories about the bad temper, anger management problem Thor, and he's nothing like that. He's a real sweetheart. Well, if you go after his family, it might be like, yeah, but don't go after his family. Okay, so I hope you guys like what you saw, and I will wrap it up here. And I'm losing control of my tongue again. I'm starting to like slur because I'm tired. I was like really up, and now I'm like getting kind of sleepy as it's getting towards, latter half of the day. Okay, so I will let you guys go, and I will see you later. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any nice thoughts on Thor, post them below. You guys know I won't permit people to badmouth any of the gods in my presence. I think it's extremely disrespectful. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.